fix our problems, and you just never solve them, cause you always in drama. It's alarming, it's alarming. Girl, I just need clarity. Can you just let me breathe? Oh, I don't wanna let you in, but it's too late now.
So it's time for another video on the channel, and today we are going on the Wrexham AFC Stadium tour. Now, for those who are new to the channel, there could be a lot, if you don't know anything about Wrexham as it is, that we could find out in today's video, as well as seeing the inside sites and the facilities, like the changing rooms, you know, the pitch side from, you know, I think it's the Wrexham Lager stand, you know, the point of view from there, because I've seen little snippets and little pictures from people who went on the first tour that happened, and I think this is like the second week of tours that they've done. So it's like they're on last Wednesday, I think they're doing this Wednesday, I think they're doing next Wednesday, if that serves me correct. But there could be a lot to find out today about Wrexham if you didn't know already. But if you are new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe and tap that bell for more notifications as when to upload. And if you enjoy this like bit of Wrexham content, let me know in the comments section down below, because there could be a lot more, plenty of Wrexham content to come this season. And I shall see you guys at the Racecourse Ground.
Similar badge to there when they restarted back up. Feel free, you know, no problem at all. As you can see over on the far side where the last floodlight is, that's remaining of the old ones, they have started work. So work has commenced now to finish off and get that. So this is what is called the dugout area, which if you look at it is actually the wrong term nowadays, because it's not dug out to the ground at all, it goes up if anything. It's the term that was used previously when we used to have, and a lot of clubs used to have, little, almost dug out little areas, a little roof you'd sit in, yeah, almost like a bush shelter, but half into the ground almost. And then over time it has mutated, and we're at this level now because this is fit enough for international games and things like that, where they have to be completely different. So they were remodelled a few years ago now. Re-soiled, reseeded, and then obviously as you can see now they're watering it, getting it ready again, I think. For two strands of grass. If I said yes to everybody with 16 to 20 on every two, play football. Okay. Yes, when Mickey Thomas placed the ball down the edge of the area and hit in the top corner past David Seaman, I was standing up there with thousands of other Arsenal fans, and at the back of the stand there's a walkway, maybe this wide. I was running up and down there, aeroplanes, cheering, etc. It's supposed to be unbiased, but it was like it was never going to happen. When Steve Watkins scored the winner, the place erupted. This place was not happy at all. But that's football for you, isn't it? So, so it's got some real good memories. But this was opened in 1979, so both stands, you know, quite old. That one, they go, that's our newest stand there, the Macron stand, the Mould Road stand. 1999 now, so it's not exactly new, is it? But that's the newest stand at the moment in the ground, so we're in charge. It just gives a little bit of info, what the club's gone through, you know, how it started, etc. Does anybody know why it's called, at the moment it's the Kairas, Stōk Kairas as I said, why it's called the Racecourse? It's quite self-explanatory. The Wrexham Cricket Club, or Denbighshire Cricket Club I think it was actually, they also did horse racing and things like that, so they used this for both. It's actually being used for quite a lot of different sports. Then they wanted something to do in the summer, and they started the football team. As people will see on social media, your badge, sometimes you'll type in a Wrexham badge and it'll say 1873 on it, if anybody's ever seen that. And that was their badge for 100 years. And then somebody discovered in local paperwork that it was actually 1864 that they got their first mention, etc. So that's why it was changed to 1864. I can't think there'll be any others. So that makes them the third oldest professional team in the world, behind Notts County are first, and then the Sheffield in second, then Wrexham. This mosaic was made up of little donations people sent in their papers and their photos, which was then made up into a mosaic of famous players like Tim McNeil. So the tour we did the other day, a lad come like that and he literally went, "That's me." He found himself in it. It was like, and he took a picture of it, so it's fair play. Have all the way through the different leagues. It's not like in America, as you know, it's like closed in the closed shop in each section. So they started talking about a documentary called Sunderland Till I Die, which was done a few years ago now by Sunderland FC. Rob watched that, fell in love with football, and then they decided we've got to look for a club. They did have a look at numerous clubs and then settled on Wrexham. And it was only at that point that Ryan got involved. So before that, Ryan was not interested, didn't even know anything about it. Rob was the instigator behind all this with Humphrey. And I think that comes over in the documentary. If you watch it, the first few episodes, people go, "It's Ryan Reynolds." It's like, no, it's Rob McElhenney who started the ball rolling. Ryan comes in as the face.
So I always thought Rob was the brains.
Yeah.
Ryan was the
Rob
money.
was so emotionally straight away, just, yeah, he bought into it straight away.
Yeah.
It took a while for Ryan to get to that point. The actual game that did it was Stockport County last year in the, I think it was the FA Trophy, when Mullins scored right at the end kind of thing. The place goes mad, you know, and then we scored a game quite quickly afterwards. That's when Ryan says he fell in love with the club. He's as mad as Rob now with it, but it took him a while to see what Rob seen. But now they're both like completely committed to it. Every time I get a chance to have a word with them, now when they come out, a lot of people say, like, if I was to come over to you now, I don't mean this disrespect, the first thing you probably say is, "Can I have a selfie? Can I have an autograph?" Accept it. Because that's what they get everywhere, don't they? You can imagine it. Never asked. Because at the same time that they're movie stars, I watched his films, Kerry says to me, "He was my boss." Well, here. You obviously don't get it. So, 40 minutes, you're all sitting there for 40 minutes before you can go back and enjoy.
I thought it was where Phil Parkinson called you big playground.
Oh, was it? I'm going to show you two doors. You will come back to that end. These are last season shirts because the new ones at the moment are getting ready to be put up. So they are last season shirts, unfortunately. But they will be changed. They are the players' actual boots and they're their personal property, so we can't touch the boot. Like I say, photos galore if the shirt is out. Last week we did the tour last week, and I will say the one thing that stood out, everybody was like, "Can I have pictures for the shirts?" Yes, no problem. There was one, and more people took a picture of a bottle of ketchup than they did the shirts in the end. It was bizarre. I was thinking, well, you can go into Tesco's anytime you like and take a picture, but that's what they wanted. Is it still up there? The first couple of months, very, very quiet. Really unassuming, hardly spoke to get the odd smile. Now, life and soul, it's great. Now, yeah, tail end of the season, yes. I speak to Aaron quite often. Random story, I also wears down, he's seen a lion on the M56 when he was going home from training. Now, it's like, so they've now put a lion bar there. You know, so like I say, it's not normally Jamie Jones, I'm sure that's where Andy Cannon sits. And he was convinced he's seen a lion on the M56. Wow. So now they give him a bit of stick for it, but it's all in good fun. So what Phil does, he'll stand over there, stop any of the opposition coming, and then his guys have a press. No, please don't take any picture of that. It's not even supposed to be up. Please do not put that on social media.
Delete that paper.
It was done recently. It was only done less than 12 months ago. So Kevin Mulholland, who's the head of everything here with the sports science and the physiotherapy, etc. This is where he'll treat players. Like I say, he's got lots of fantastic equipment in the cupboards and everything. Try and keep these players fit and healthy for the whole season. Unfortunately, some do get long-term injuries, and this is where they get treated every day. If you do get a long-term injury, this is where you will come. The players come in for training. They will get their own training pattern. They will not see some of them lads for a couple of months if they're out for a while. Like Aaron Hayden, somebody mentioned. Yeah. He came in here, and he'd come in, say, 12 till 2. The players have already been and gone for their training, so you might not see your teammates half as many times as you'd like to think, because they're on a completely different regime to getting their bodies fit again. So, but yeah, like I say, once we move in a sec, you can all pop your head in and have a look. For those who've already had a look, if we want to go out, alterations since, but they still want to bring internationals back to the stadium. That's why they're upgrading the floodlights, the dugouts, etc. So that, and once the stands back up as well, Foresight, I'm sure we'll get some Wales games up this end, because anybody that does go down to Cardiff knows there isn't a motorway that goes through Wales. It's a very difficult journey sometimes, so it'd be far better if we could have some internationals here. If you'd like to walk out roughly, to just past the hoardings there, and just get if anybody wants to, so they can feel what the players feel like, that's where they walk out to the ground, if anybody wants to do that. Otherwise, we can go into the changing room here. Players will come into. It's actually got a bigger shower and bathroom area than the home one. The thing is, I've got another lot of holding lines, so I'll do all again.
Only because you've got a small.
No, it is still first. I can't remember. Yeah, we kept everything.
Small.